Hey, welcome everyone to Wizards Pregame. We got Cardo W. Jr. joining us live from the Capital One Arena. I'm Wilson Torpe Jr. and the Washington Wizards are hosting the Milwaukee Bucks. This evening, the Bucks come into this game having lost three straight. The fourth game in that stretch against the Mavericks was postponed. They're 18 and 27 on the year. The Wizards are coming off a 115-111 win over the Blazers. It was one of Washington's better defensive performances this season. Get over to the channel, hear what Cardell and Ray had to say about that win. Washington leads this season series 2 games to 1. They lost to Milwaukee in their very first matchup and then won the last two, 129 to 126 and then 114 to 113. As for the injury report, the Bucks will be without Gary Harris, Giannis, Kevin Porter Jr., and Taurean Prince. Carl Anthony is questionable. Washington will be without Tristan Vukovic, Marvin Bagley III, Ken Whitmore, Trey Young. Alex Starr is questionable. So Cardell, what does Washington have to do to this end this season series up 3-1, or instead of having it end tied 2 apiece?
Yeah, obviously the Bucks will be a totally different animal as far as what they're dealing with now, and what they're doing is relying more on they rely more on their wings and forwards and stuff like that, man. So um, with that, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, just making sure I'm still connected. So, with that being said, the Wizards gonna have to key in on a variety of people instead of just Giannis, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be a one-trick pony. And guys have stepped up. Like last game, they actually pushed the Sixers. The defense suffered, but offensively they pushed the Sixers. Uh, 4 players they got to keep in track of. Start with the former Wizard Kyle Kuzma. We all know what he brings. Good one-on-one scorer, 3-level scorer, decent rebounder, and quiet as kept. Isolation, he's a pretty good defender as well. You know what I mean? Now, every other aspect, good luck. Help side, rotation, fighting on the screens, all that, run protection. You're not gonna really get much out of that. But obviously, with Giannis out, guys have to step up, and he's more than confident enough where he's gonna get shots up. And if you don't account for him, he can hurt you real bad. Next up, Bobby Porter's. Like, another 3-level score, but I feel like he thrives more in the mid post, low post, where he uses his size and shooting ability to take advantage of different opponents. Like if you throw a bigger guy on him, he can beat him with his quickness, and then if you throw somebody typically around his size, they're always a little bit smaller, and then that's when he plays bully ball, and he gets to the line a lot, man. So the Wizards got to be prepared for that, especially out of the post. He can hit threes and transitions. He's a good rebounder, good screen setter, but his weakness is defense. So if you see him on the island, go at him, make him work. Because they tire him out on the offense, man, and that's an advantage the Wizards can try to exploit. Um, Miles Turner, people don't realize that he be kind of just playing his role, but last game against Philly, obviously motivated by Embiid, he outplayed Embiid. He had 31 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks on 10 to 16 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3-point line. Now, Embiid team won, but he came ready to play. So that means you probably gonna see Miles Turner kind of what we saw with the Pacers early on in his career, where they was going feeding it through him, going through him. We already know he likes to shoot threes. He can make them. I don't like him kind of being out there settling for him, but you got to be aware he can make them, especially in transition. Obviously, he's an elite rim protector, defender. He'll get out there, hedge out, all that good stuff. We know about that. And he can rebound. The thing with him is being careful with the rim rolls, the rim runs, and stuff like that. Because if he get out in front, it could be a long night. He'll get easy baskets. He'll get confident, and you got a situation on your hands if you're the Wizards to try to have to, a fire you got to try to put out, so to speak, and that can be tough. And then last but not least, Ryan Rollins, man. Last game against the Sixers, he had 24 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 9 to 17. He's one of the most improved players in the league by far. He does it all, man. He can score from a variety of ways. 3-level score, especially coming off screens, taking advantage of pick and roll sets, goal screens. If you give him daylight, he can knock down the shots. He's an elite playmaker. He can set the table for a variety of guys. And obviously, when a team loses their best player, somebody like Giannis, it makes it hard to kind of see who to focus on. I mean, you could go off last game, but last game is based on that team's matchups and how they match up with that team. It's gonna be a totally different thing. So we know the Wizards a little bit small on that side with really Saar and all that. I wouldn't be surprised to see a heavy dose of Bobby Porter's and Miles Turner. Try to exploit that. At least try to get them going, see if they can try to exploit that at the beginning of the game. Then you go from there. And he stays within himself. Ryan Rollins does. He doesn't take bad shots. He knows what everybody does out there on the floor. He knows what situation is best, so he's not going to just pass it to you because you open. And you're not like say you're not a 3-point shooter. If you're not a 3-point shooter, you're gonna find the guy that's open, that's in their spot. The way they're most efficient, and that's something the Wizards got to be wary of and all that. So they got to stay glued to him, especially in screen and roll action, because any daylight he can knock it down, make you pay. Man, he's a hell of a defender. He's a pest. Um, he can guard 94 feet. He gets around screens. You can't bully him on a block if you're a bigger guard or whatnot. He gets in the passing lanes. He'll go in there and rebound. I mean, he's just a tough dude, man. He impacts the game every way, man. And he's what you call a pros pro. And so, um, you know, the Wizards kind of got their hands full as far as trying to identify who to locate, because basically Giannis is gonna get a bulk of their shots. Now the shots being spread out, so everybody got to be on the string defensively. And then on the Wizards side, man, Jameer Watkins, I feel like he should get more minutes. I really do. He down to guard whoever you can put him on. You can put him on Rollins and Cruz. Why not? You know what I mean? And AJ Green. He can guard 1 through 3. We saw the impact he made against Portland and Charlotte, where he was just ripping guys that had pool going the other way with it, man. I know he's not the most efficient shooter right now, but you need stops. And, it's going to come a stretch where the Bucks go on a run. They're going to need stops. So I feel like Watkins should be one of the first names called and get in there and do what he does best. And that's play defense, cause turnovers, wreak havoc, man. Mess up what they're trying to do. And if they're messing up what they're trying to do offensively, then it can take the pressure off the Wizards when they get on offense and they can execute more freely. And you know what I mean? So if they stay with that, defend, do all the, obviously we always talk about defend, take good shots like they did the other night against Portland, play within themselves, play together. They should have a good shot to win this game. They've already beat them remotely, but they've already beat the team with Giannis. But
Mhm.
again, this is going to be a different type of battle. Something they got to be prepared for. So it's going to be different. It's the same. It's the Bucks, but it's a totally different team.
No, I'm right with you. It's a totally different team. Like you don't need to pull up a chart to know just how high Giannis's usage rate has been with the Bucks since he officially became Giannis. Everything runs through him. That's a given. So like the things that you laid out, folks, keep that in mind as always as you watch tonight's game. But we're going to take a quick little detour here. Um, let's talk about the All Star reserves. The All Star starters have been named. So let me get that up on the screen for you guys. Uh, on the East, we'll start Eastern Conference. We got Giannis, Jalen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Kate Cunningham, Tyrese Maxey. You got a big and several guards in the East making making compiling the starting five. But Cardell, there's a lot of talented folks that could be picked when we're talking about reserves. So I wanted to get your thoughts on who do you feel deserves the most.
Which one we starting with? We starting with the East or the
We're
West?
starting with the East. Start with the
All
East.
right. Obviously for me, I'm gonna go with Jalen Dorn. Start for the Pistons. I feel like he could have damn near started if it wasn't for certain players getting the proper respect that's hoop. And I'm not mad at nobody starter, but in a lot of years he probably would have been a starter. Brandon Ingram up in Toronto, you got to give it to him. I love what I'm seeing out of Toronto this year. Donovan Mitchell goes without saying. I also like Scotty Barnes from Toronto. I feel like they should get a couple players in there. And Jalen Johnson with the Hawks. I know the Hawks are in ninth place. They're in the playing, but he's been balling, man. He's been balling. Like he made the franchise move on from their former franchise player. Let's keep it real. He made it easier to deal with. Like, yeah, he cool. We can move on. And from Miami, it's kind of tough, man. But Norman Powell. I'm gonna go with Norman Powell. I feel like he's been missing consistent. Plus, I feel like he's old for what he didn't get last year. Um, And then the last one, damn, that's where it gets tough. That's where it gets tough. Damn, damn, that's where it gets tough. Damn, damn, damn. Um, I would say Van Kerr, but he ain't had a good enough year. And Orlando's kind of out there too. Um, I guess you got to go with. I go with.
And you want to know what? Look,
it's, uh,
I could give you a minute because so
you know
far,
what? You know what? No, no, no. I'm gonna go with Josh Giddy, man. He almost
okay,
averaging a
cool.
triple double.
All right,
He almost averaging a triple double,
all right.
man. 18. He averaging 18, 8, and 8. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
that's tough. And Chicago's back to some semi-relevancy there in the playing spot. They're literally one game. They're literally 2 games out of the 6 seed. So they right in the thick of things in the playoffs, man. So you gotta give them a spot.
Yeah, while you were trying to decide, I was going to jump in and tell you, I was with you on every pick. I was just going to throw Josh Giddey in there. So I get the buzzer sound in your head, and you hit the same person, but he's been amazing this season. I feel like enough people haven't paid any attention to him. 18, 8, and 8 is absurd. If it was somebody else, we'd be going crazy about that. Matter of fact, we've seen y'all go crazy about other people averaging that. Also, he's doing that while playing defense. Um, and the thing that we always mention year after year when we talk about the All Star reserves or the starters, whenever we do that on the show in past years, it's about the teams, the guys that impact whose teams directly impact winning. Which is why I'm on board with everybody that you named. Toronto, like you said, Bi has been worth every penny of that trade for them. He did exactly what he's supposed to do, and it's complimented Scotty in a way where Scotty gets to just do what Scotty wants to do, which is let me just hoop, do a little bit of everything, and we got the guy. It's cool. I help the guy, but we got the guy, and I'm with you with Duran. This should be the last year that he misses it as a starter going forward. It should just be we should in the future be able to just pencil him and Caden together if they continue going forward. But those two being so special. But yeah, he definitely has to be in it. But before we run out of time, let's get over to the Western Conference Cardo. We have Steph, Luca, SGA, the Joker, and Wemby. See, the West a little bit different. They got two bigs in their lineup with the guards instead of a big in all guards. But your thoughts on the reserves and the Western Conference?
For me, the West is a little bit easier. Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, obviously Anthony Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, Jamal Murray. It's crazy to think this is his first All-Star, but I feel like he's well deserving. He done carried the ship since Joker's been out, kept him afloat. Um, Denny out there, former Wizard. Gotta give him his
Yes.
props, bro. Gotta give him his
Yep.
props, man. Portland and playing, they better than advertised. Um, Alvaro Sagon, man, man. Come on, man. That's a bad boy. And last but not least, man, I'm gonna go with Castle. I'm gonna go with Castle from the Spurs. They second in the
Ooh.
West, man. Yeah, why would they deserve it too? You know what I mean? Like OKC up there, but Shep been hurt a lot. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to just kind of go with that. But when Wemby was on the minutes restriction, Stephon Castle stepped his game up, kept things where they got. Now that he back and doing what he need to do, there you go. Like, and people may not understand, but he's averaging 16, 7, and 5. You know what I mean? One of the best 1.3 steals, one of the best defenders in the league already. Like, he will be on the All NBA defensive team. Period. So I feel like that's warranted. Like, he gets the best assignment every night, man. So get that young fella his props, man. Like, he getting it done.
Hey, no arguments for me. The only thing I had different was I didn't have Castle. I felt like they might choose that maybe it's a year too early for him, but I agree with everything that you said. Much like that pairing of we talk about in the East, that pairing of Cade and Durant. You gotta look at the Spurs kind of like that too. That pairing is Wemby and Castle together. Um, you can't for the most part you can't mention one without the other. I'm right with you on Benny, beyond deserving. Like we were just on here a couple nights ago when you were going through pregame, and you listed the reasons, is the many reasons as to why. Since that trade, he's only become, got grown more and more into himself as he heads into his prime. So he's beyond deserving. Um, I think the guy I had in there, I wasn't sure. I just felt like they might choose Kawhi over Castle, even though I know Castle played more. But that's why I didn't have Castle in there. But you know where I'm at personally, that you got him in there. Obviously over the moon, but that was the only difference. But yeah, the West was a little bit easier. It's crazy because it was just big after big after big out West. But again, that's a cycle of things. As Cardell just laid out the keys for you guys for uh, the Wizards Bucks matchup tonight. So tune in afterwards for Wizards Outlook. You guys enjoy the game. Cardell enjoy the game as well.
All right, man. Appreciate it.